Hello, everybody. This is Mean Gene Okerlund, and I am here for some more Build to Wrestle Figure Mania, the biggest Wrestle Figure Mania Mr. Hornsby 83 has done. And tonight we are going to hear from the WWF Tag Team Champions, the Legion of Doom. Then we're going to hear from the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair, about his match with Hulk Hogan. We're going to hear from Triple H about the Fatal 4-Way main, one of the main events, the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWF Heavyweight title. We're also going to hear from The Rock, and then we're going to hear from WCW World Heavyweight Champion Bill Goldberg, who has a message for Scott Steiner. But first off, ladies and gentlemen, here they are. Animal, Road Warrior Animal, Road Warrior Hulk, the Legion of Doom are here, and boys, Demolition had a lot to say about you guys last past week. So what do you got to say in response to what they say? First of all, Mean Gene, let me say this to Demolition. You boys must be going crazy, or you're delusional, or something like that. Because the Legion of Doom never ever said anything about you chumps being second rate. We might have called you chumps or something like that, but we never said anything about you all being second rate. I think that's all in their head. Yeah, I was wondering why the hell they kept saying that this past last week. I don't know. So, Demolition, you could do whatever you want. Maybe they were just trying to psych their own selves up because they feel like they can't beat the Legion of Doom unless they have some kind of motivation. Well, that could be the possibility. So, yeah. Demolition, Wrestle Figure Mania. We're going to beat you three. We're going to beat you guys, and we're going to walk out still WWF Tag Team Champions. Tell them, Hulk. Well, Demolition, I don't know what the hell promo you were listening to last week, but we never called you guys second rate at all. Now, maybe we think it, but I don't know. These guys are pretty tough. But like Animal said, maybe it's just a way for them to psych themselves up, to make them feel better and motivate themselves to try to beat the Legion of Doom. But there's only one problem, boys. We are the two baddest men on this planet. And at Wrestle Figure Mania, we're going to kick your asses and we're going to walk out still WWF Tag Team Champion. Oh, what a rush. Oh, very fired up Legion of Doom. They are ready for Demolition at Wrestle Figure Mania. Alright, next up we got the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. So Rick, Hulk Hogan had some things to say about you last week. He said he's walking out NWA World Heavyweight Champion along with still being WWF Heavyweight Champion. So what do you got to say about that, Nature Boy? Mean by God, Gene! Woo! The Nature Boy has something to say to you, big man. Hogan, you think you're gonna beat the Nature Boy at Wrestle Figure Mania and take the real World's Championship off of me? That's where you're dead wrong. Because I have defended this title all across the world. I have defended it against some of the greatest stars ever. Hell, I've even outlasted some guys in a cardiovascular match. So Hogan, if you think you're gonna take this 10 pounds of gold, you're dead wrong. Because the Nature Boy is gonna go in there and I'm gonna out wrestle you. Because you know what? The Nature Boy can go 60 minutes, pal. Can you go 60 minutes, Hogan? I don't think so. Because all the muscles you got, all the big muscles you got and all that, the body you got, there's no way you could last 60 minutes with the Nature Boy. So Hogan, at Wrestle Figure Mania, I walk out with your WWF Heavyweight Championship, and I walk out with the 10 pounds of gold, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And then Hogan, maybe I'll go pay your wife a visit. Now that's too far, Flair, that's too far. Well, you know, if Hogan can't go 60 minutes in the ring, I'm pretty sure he can't go 60 minutes in the bed. You're disgusting. You're a low-life scumbag, Rick. Can't believe you're saying this about Hogan's wife. Well, you know what? Every woman dreams about being with the Nature Boy. And Hogan, your woman's probably dreaming about me too. Woo! Space Mountain, Space Mountain, Space Mountain. Alright, next up, after that disgusting display, from what we heard from the Nature Boy Ric Flair, next up we got even a more disgusting, despicable human being coming out, and that is none other than the Game, Triple H. So Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Kurt Angle both said they're walking out Wrestle Figure Mania as the WWF Heavyweight Champion. So what do you got to say about that? And I'm pretty sure here in a few minutes The Rock's going to say he's walking out with that title. Mean Gene Triple H done said everything he had to say. And I heard Kurt Angle out there running his mouth last week, talking about how he is underestimated and how he is the underdog. And he said he was the underdog when he won the Olympic gold medal. And he said he was the underdog when he had the broken frickin' neck. But let me tell you something now. Kurt Angle, you might have been the underdog and won your Olympic gold medal in the Olympics in amateur wrestling. But let me tell you this right now. Triple H is gonna tell you this plain and clear. That was amateur wrestling, and this is professional wrestling. Now, as for Stone Cold Steve Austin, who said last week there's a first time for everything, that he will pin Triple H, mats to the shoulders, or shoulders to the mat. Well, Austin, I know everybody has a Buster Douglas day, but Austin, you will not be so lucky, because at Wrestle Figure Mania, I'm gonna pin your shoulders to the mat, and then I'm gonna, once again, be the WWF Heavyweight Champion, because I am the Game, and I am that damn good. Oh boy. Well, very confident Triple H going in to Wrestle Figure Mania. Tell you what, we'll see what happened when all 4 of these men are together for a contract signing. Next up, another number one contender. Whoa, 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 whoa. Mean Gene Okerlund, know your role and shut your damn mouth. Triple H, The Rock says this, you candy ass jabroni. You keep coming out week in and week out and going, Triple H is going to win the title. Well, let me tell you this, The Rock is sick and tired of hearing it. And let me tell you another thing, jabroni. The fact of the matter is, you think you gotta worry about Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, Stone Cold Steve Austin ain't got nothing on The Rock. And as for you, Kurt Angle, you were running your mouth last week after you said milk and cookies, milk and cookies, milk and cookies, and talking about how he's a virgin. Well, The Rock says this, you stupid jabroni. It doesn't matter what you did in the Olympics. What matters is what you've done in the WWF. And the only reason why you won the WWF Heavyweight Championship from the Great One was because you had your your buddies Edge and Christian help you out to win the title, and Rikishi's big dumbass accidentally cost me the title. But you know what? If Edge and Christian decide to get in the way, and I've been hearing the Big Show running his damn mouth because Big Show also interfered in that match. You know, Big Show, The Rock says this: why don't you go back to doing what you do best? And that's this. You might have aligned yourself with Kurt Angle because you think if you help Kurt Angle at Wrestle Figure Mania, you're going to be the next opponent to face him for the title. I'm pretty sure Big Show's big fat ass wants to win the title easy by beating Kurt Angle for it. And as for you being underestimated, Kurt, The Rock never underestimates anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Whether you're a guy who eats milk and cookies and still a virgin, or whether you're a guy that's as bad and big and tough as Stone Cold Steve Austin, or unless you're a complete jackass like Triple H, The Rock does not underestimate anybody. And at Wrestle Figure Mania, The Rock gets back what's rightfully his, and that is the WWF Heavyweight Championship. If you smell what the Rock, I messed up on that, is cooking. Well, we heard from The Rock. He's very fired up. Next up, though, we got the WCW World Heavyweight Champion Bill Goldberg. So Goldberg, you heard what Scott Steiner had to say last week, and what he's been saying ever since he won the Figure Rumble is, quite frankly, he's walking in of Wrestle Figure Mania the challenger and walking out as the WWF Heavyweight Champion. So what do you got to say about that? You know something, Mean Gene? I am so sick and tired of hearing Scott Steiner talk about how he's gonna beat Bill Goldberg for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. But here's the fact of the matter. Everybody else who stepped in my way has been squashed and crushed by the spear and jackhammer. And Scott Steiner at Wrestle Figure Mania, that's not going to change. Because once I get a hold of your sorry ass, especially after the cowardly attack and costing me the WCW Tag Team titles as well, after I get a hold of your sorry ass, you're going to be just another victim. Because Steiner, your ass is next, and I will still be WCW World Heavyweight Champion at the end of Wrestle Figure Mania. Alright, everybody, that's it for this week's build to Wrestle Figure Mania. See you guys next Tuesday on the Mr. Hornsby 83 show. Don't forget to check out the IWC video yesterday, and don't forget to check out the video tomorrow where Mr. Hornsby 83 is going to be singing a new Forrest Gump style song before he starts talking about, WWE competitors world titles. Catch you guys later, and this is Mean Gene Urkler saying, see ya.